Yichi here and Lucy. Today we're going to talk about why I became a realtor and should you become one too. Let's jump right in. I've changed my career many times. Prior to getting into real estate, I worked at Deloitte as a CPA auditing financial institutions. I traveled and photographed the world for a year, and I also worked in various startups as a software engineer. Now, why did I switch my career so many times? Well, the main reason was I was looking for something that I genuinely enjoyed to do. And at the time, every time I switched careers, in my mind I was thinking, oh, I am wasting a lot of time. However, now that I found something that I love to do, I've realized that each of these experiences has actually provided a ton of value. While working at Deloitte, I had some of Canada's biggest clients, such as RBC, Wealthsimple, Morgan Stanley, Brookfield, and many other clients. Now, your main job as an auditor at Deloitte is to go into these clients, look at their financial statements, and analyze their finances. Now, this is a super important skill set to have as a realtor because your main job is to figure out not only help clients find properties, but help clients figure out, is this investment property feasible, or is this primary residence feasible? And these skills definitely overlap when it comes to interest rates and projections and things like that. The other main skill set that's super important to have is communication, and Deloitte helped me with this as well. Some of these clients that I mentioned, like RBC and Brookfield, their clients are super direct when it comes to communicating. Whereas some of my other clients, such as Wealthsimple, which was a startup at the time, now it's one of Canada's biggest companies, and I had some other smaller clients that were much more, or enjoyed a much more casual conversation. They enjoyed casual communication, right? So I, the auditor, had to adapt my communication style based on who I was dealing with. And the same thing holds true as a realtor. Some people are, okay, don't give me the funny business. Let's just get down straight to business. Let's get to work. Tell me what I need to know. And some people prefer small talk. They prefer to get to know each other before doing business. So as a realtor, I know Jay-Z says walk into every room as yourself, which is true. I do still have to walk into every room as myself, but I still have to adapt my communication style depending on who I'm dealing with. Not every client is the same, and in order to be successful, you really have to adapt your communication. Now, before I continue, I just gotta show you how cute this dog is. Right? I gotta start a YouTube channel for her. After I worked at Deloitte for 3 years, I actually quit and traveled the world nonstop for a year while starting my own photography business. Me and my friends, we started in India and did pretty much all of Asia and ended in Russia. Now, I learned a lot in that year. I learned, what makes a great photograph and what makes art. I learned how to sell my art. I learned how to do social media and the art of facing rejection. Because every day it was, you had to get rejected. I would ask people if I could take their photograph. Hi Lucy. I would, go to a stall and haggle for prices in terms of food. So every day I was learning about the art of handling rejection and also negotiation. Now, the entire time traveling, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And when I came back, I still had no idea. But I did learn that I loved moving around and I loved being spontaneous. So when I came back, I seeked these things, but I also realized that I wanted something more stable than photography. I wasn't willing to sacrifice my entire life to do photography as a career. And so I continued searching. After I came home to Canada, I still didn't really know what I wanted to do. So after a few months of searching, I decided to take a coding boot camp and learn how to code. Now, outside of one class in grade 11, I've never really written any code in my life. I had no idea what I was doing. But both my parents are developers and I had a lot of friends in the industry, and the industry was really hot at the time. So I said, you know what? Why not? I actually loved certain elements of coding and still do. I love the problem solving. I love the feeling of when your code works and you can actually build things out of thin air. It's like magic, really. And it was great working at startups where our entire mission was, what does the customer want? Let's figure it out. Let's design it out of thin air, and let's code it and build software so that we can sell to these clients. It was an entire cycle. And completing that entire cycle and having success was extremely fulfilling. But there was one issue. I didn't like looking at a screen all day. I kind of miss the real world. When you're a developer, you get burnt out really quickly because all you're doing is looking at a screen. Your meetings are on Zoom, and you're typing code. And outside of like pair programming, you're just looking at a computer, and it is exhausting. So when I was at my second dev job, I was actually getting my real estate license on the side, and that is where I am now. And now, after working at Deloitte, after traveling the world, after becoming a software engineer, I am a full-time real estate agent. And my time in tech was one of the reasons why I decided to pick eXp as my brokerage of choice, because they're a tech-based brokerage where everything is done through powerful software. Now the question is, should you become a realtor? And as cliche as this sounds, everyone's different, and you really have to figure out what you like to do. For me, I love running around, meeting new people, interior design and photography. I love financial analysis and thinking in first principles. So for me, this has been an excellent choice. Now, I might be in the honeymoon phase, so we'll see how long this excitement lasts for, but I'm definitely getting closer to doing something that I love to do every day. And as long as I'm getting closer to true north on my compass, that's all that matters. But you might be different, and everybody is. Being a realtor is not for everybody, just like being an accountant or a software engineer is not for everybody, or even a photographer, right? Everyone is different, and you really have to figure out what you enjoy doing. And remember, it's okay if you have to descend the mountain to ascend another one. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next week.